already? All right, let's start the meeting with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Call the meeting to order. Let's see, it is 6:30. 6:30. I'm on clock. Did we get the clock fixed? Yay! It's just hard when it's right before me. All right. Do we have any modifications to the agenda?
We just have one consent agenda item, and it's for the modification on the separation to change the effective date of Nicole Sebastian to February 20th, 2023.
Is there a motion to approve the modification?
Also,
Is there any discussion on adding the modification? All right, roll call.
Amy,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Stephanie,
Yes.
Doug.
Yes.
All right. Next, we have recognition of visitors and comments from the audience. Is anyone here to do that tonight? Moving on, we have a presentation. This is The Way of the Eagle from Mark Bruner, and he's brought some students and staff with him today.
Hi, I'm Mark Bruner. Thank you for having us.
What do you do, Mark?
I'm the high school athletic director. So I was asked to present The Way of the Eagle, and Ava Sanders is here, and Carly is here. We kind of started a club based off of Ava's idea. And as we started implementing, we found we wanted to group it with student council. It just allowed for more student involvement. But they're going to present tonight of the kind of how it's set up. So basically, you have 3 tiers is what it's going to boil down to. And it all basically ties back to students and quite a bit of athletics. And so I'm going to let Chase come up. He's going to start kind of just his introduction. And then as we're going along, I just really want you to kind of pay attention to how it just involves all 100% students and athletics. And it's kind of growing as we speak. So Chase, you guys all want to come up and just stand here? All right.
Yes, hi, I'm Chase, and this is Hadley, London, and Ava. We're the elected representatives of Student Council. And our sponsors are Mrs. Adams, Mrs. Salisbury, and Mrs. Llewellyn. So like I said before, I'm the president, and then we have like different vice presidents below that to create a tier system. London is vice president of student life. Ava is vice president, like the way of leading the Way of the Eagle, and Hadley is vice president of communication. So as student council, our goal is to create a positive, competitive, and engaging culture for all Brown County students and athletes, and just to create the change that we want to see in our athletic program and in our school. So next, London is going to tell us more about student life aspects of student council.
So our goal is to lead and implement initiatives that increase students' pride and enjoyment of coming to school at BCHS. And some things that we've done to do that is like we started Fun Fridays last year, and that's where students select activities that they want to do once a month, and that like has included dodgeball tournaments, school-wide party, which is kind of like each classroom has its own activity, and kids can just go around the school and pick what they want to do. And then there's also been teacher versus student games. And then another thing is spirit days, and that's what we do during homecoming. We dress up for certain themes that we set. So there's been like pajama day and like country club versus country and things like that. And that's just to get people more excited for homecoming. And then also pep sessions happens the day of homecoming, and that's something that we do at the end of the school day to show support for our athletic events. So here's some pictures from Fun Friday. So the most recent one we had was on Valentine's Day. So we had everything kind of focused on Valentine's Day. So there we had like arts and crafts. So they made like hats. And then here we have Just Dance. And then here's Nine Square, which is set up in the Commons. And we also have Spikeball and Cool. Here's pictures from cup sessions. So on the far there is the teacher versus student basketball game. We have students sign up to play the teachers. And then here is a cheerleader with the teacher where they performed their own dance that they came up with. And then
We're laughing at the memory of something you can't unsee.
and then here is one of our dress up days for homecoming, and that was anything for backpack. So the kids brought whatever they can put their school stuff in, but it couldn't be a backpack. And this is a picture from homecoming. So on the far there was we had a pie eating contest during the block party, which is kind of put together by the whole community. So each different group puts on a booth, and one of them was pie eating contest. And the student won, so he got to put a pie in Mr. Austin's face during the homecoming game. So that was pretty cool. And then also before the homecoming game, we did like a color war, which we had chalk and we just like threw it on each other. We all wore white, and you can see it's pretty colorful. And then also at the block party, we have all people are invited, so it shows that we're involving the whole community. So it's for people in high school, but also for incoming students.
So I'm Ava, and I'm like the leader of Wave the Eagle. And I started this because I noticed that as an athlete, there's just this mindset that we're just Brown County, but we should be saying we are Brown County, like being proud of that. And that was something that really bothered me. So, I mean, I was just a freshman, but I really wanted to implement change. So I came up with some of these ideas along with these people and obviously everyone else. One thing is the student booth, and what we do for the student booth is we have just different things, like fun little things to support the theme of the night. So for like Hawaiian or beach day, like we had leis and like sunglasses and just little things that are affordable, but like just trying to get everyone to feel included and welcomed. And then also what we do is a highlight board, which if you ever go through the high school, you can see it in the hallways. And we just like, you can send in pictures from games or just of athletes, and we try to post it just to get student or like athlete recognition and just make everyone feel important as they should. And then something that we're looking for in the future is a fan bus. We're trying to get students to, big games like sectionals or like rival games, and just really having a positive fan base for our athletes. This is some of the pictures that are on the highlight board. So like this was the kid that won the pie eating contest, and then there's basketball and some of the cheerleaders and like coaches and stuff. And then this is our student section, which is something that we're proud of. We got like an eagle's nest banner, and like you can see like the sunglasses and stuff that's from the student booth, and like we put on the color war as student council and just have some fun stuff for everybody.
Hi, I'm Hadley, and I'm the Vice President of Communications. So what I do mostly is focus on the video announcements. That's something new that we started this year because we got a lot of students requesting for it. So basically, it's just a group of students going and filming all the announcements for the upcoming week, and then they'll be shown during SRT to all the classrooms. And it's just a better way to get people involved and get people actually listening to the announcements instead of just hearing them over the speaker. It's just fun to watch. Another thing we do is social media. So we have an Instagram page, and it has a lot of followers on it. It's just so we can announce home games and things like that. And it just helps get people involved, gets people thinking about school from all sorts of platforms and stuff. And it's just something very cool that we do. So here's the social media page. London actually is a big help with that mostly, but it has almost 500 followers. It's a really big thing here. It helps to involve future students. There's a lot of middle schoolers that follow it, and it gets them excited for high school. And there's a lot of former students that follow it too, so it's still a good way for them to be involved. And there's all the features we have on it. We also not only feature sports, but we have like theater and the arts on there too. And here's one of the video announcements that we've done.
Good morning, Eagles, and happy homecoming. Welcome to today's morning announcements from the Tele News Network.
Today, happy Monday morning to stand today on all BCHS events to see how you can support your fellow Eagles. Now, please join us in a moment of silence and the pledge of allegiance.
That's just a little sample.
So, it is our recommendation.
Would you show the very end of that video so they can see what's at the very end? Sorry.
That's basically like a schedule of all the things that are happening that week, so people know ahead of time and they don't know like last second, so they can come and support.
Okay, so it's our recommendation to other schools that they implement a system more like ours when it comes to student council. So a lot of the other schools, especially the middle school, to be on student council, you have to be elected to that position, even just to be on student council in general. And so when the kids come to high school, they're surprised when anybody can join student council, and we find that we have a lot less involvement because of that. They feel like they have to be elected to that position, when really, for a bunch of the ones that are actually like elected to the position, everybody else just comes to just be a part of it. And we would like to see that more in the other schools, that once they get here, they feel like they can be a part of it as well and be part of that change. So I think that's it today. So thank you for the time today to learn more about what we do at student council.
Are there any questions for us?
I got a question. So when the students, do they win or do the teachers win on the top?
But I will say they lost because at the very end, there was one student that did not get a chance to have the ball, and she was being heavily guarded in her wheelchair by our teachers, and the teachers would not let her get the shot in. And so had they let off their guard, she might have made it. And, they're relentless.
Question, I love that I've seen it trickle down to Spernica. So every Friday Spernica has some type of theme. Like I think Friday was Mustache Day. Have you guys considered doing like pep rallies or big things as like going into the play, the weekend of the play, doing like something to kind of help promote that, or like big arts competitions or choir or band?
For our next Fun Friday, actually, we plan on having like a basketball tournament throughout the week, but before, like on that Friday, we'll have like show choir and winter guard and bands. They'll have their performances before like the championship game. So that's something that we do for like the arts, but then also for the play, we said that they should have their own separate day. So like one day during SRT, they'll have like a preview scene for the school to go down and watch. So it gets people more excited.
Awesome. And then knowing that the three of you are seniors, are you seniors as well? Sophomore. Do you see the other classes carrying on with what you guys have started?
I think so. I think Ava will do a good job of continuing that one. And I'm sure there'll be other people that'll step up to kind of help fill those roles as well.
Well, congratulations. I mean, it's very cool. I went back to high school. Okay, maybe not.
I am incredibly proud of all four of you and the goals, and just to take that step in leadership to see and make change, just like you said, Chase. And I couldn't be more proud of the three of you for elevating them to do what they want to do. So thank you.
I know we were having, kind of low numbers at like basketball games and football games. Have you seen that this is working, like that more people are excited and coming to games and participating?
Yeah, I feel like, so from the beginning of like my freshman year, I played volleyball and I noticed like nobody was coming. And once we started doing student booth, especially for football games, so many more people have been coming because it's fun. And I mean, I feel like if you're gonna come to a game, you want it to be fun, especially like from a student's point of view. So just getting that out to everyone else, and even the little kids. Like we did a face painting for football, and there were so many elementary school kids. It was so cute, but it was awesome because they're gonna remember that when they come up here, and they're gonna want to be a part of that.
And then our freshman year, there was a big student section, and I think COVID kind of had to deal with like a lot of people not coming after that, and I think we kind of had to build it up from there. And I've seen a lot of improvement from like last year to this year.
And are we doing things for, you know, we typically think of football and basketball, but volleyball, soccer, track, wrestling, all of those sports, or are there anything that's incorporating those?
Yeah, we're doing our best, especially with this spring. It's very hard to get students from here to Eagle Park, so that's one of our bigger problems right now, but we're working on it.
One of our, just to chime in for that, is student booth will be set up at senior nights for spring sports. And actually, our biggest population of athletes, they play a spring sport. So
That's our biggest struggle.
Yeah.
Is the fact that everybody in student council is either in the play or in a spring sport. I can't name one person that right. So, and then to get them there, and especially since track starts at 4:30, softball, they all start early.
Yeah.
So they're already in practice. They're still in practice trying to hype up a game. How can you hype up a game when you're still hyping yourself in practice?
I think that fall sports too, you got soccer, tennis, volleyball, and a play usually all happening at the same time, and they often are the same, and cross country. And so you're all the same kids, and that's always been one of our struggles. Alicia, could you pull in the student council from the middle school and then the elementaries to potentially help with those?
You are totally reading into where we are going. Next year, we're going on trying to get the schedule. No, and you all know more than I do about this. And the schedule to match our day up better with the middle school, so that, and it's been our goal to take our student leaders down to the middle or up to the middle school, and then them down here and kind of do a global campus with it to be able to train them up and get them there. And just get them involved, you know, and again, like, I think one of the biggest things here is that anybody has a voice. And I know that at the middle school, you know, that they don't have that. It's not a democracy. It's a group of leaders making decisions, and that works for them. But I think we get more student buy-in when they feel like they can come to any meeting that they want and express their excitement or maybe discontent with what's been happening. And if they are upset, the easiest answer is come to a meeting. Come, have your voice heard. And that usually silences a lot of the naysay.
And that was one of what Chase kind of hit on at the end of the slide, is that this way we are kind of trying to put some feelers out there while we have the stage of, can the middle school adopt a 3-tiered system like we have? Can the elementaries do that as well? So when we have all these spring athletes, for example, so then our hands are tied to only do a student booth on senior nights. Well, if the middle school had that same branch of Way of the Eagle, then we can pull middle school Way of the Eagle kids to work that student booth potentially. So we just share. We share everyone across the board.
Or
So-
assign a Van Buren night.
Right,
You know.
to sponsor a student booth, something like that.
And how are you funding all of the raffles and the giveaways and all those things?
So, Hard Truth, Big Woods, they've been our #1 donor for those things. Like they designed, you saw a little snippet of the Eagles Nest sign. They do a lot for us. We are still kind of working out in the community to try and have more sponsors or donations for that, because obviously as we grow, we would like to have a bigger budget. But our student booth is fully sponsored through Brown's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in Columbus, Indiana, actually. So we have not hurt for sponsors and funding. But as we grow, we would like to have a bigger budget to provide for attendance.
And for like the Fun Friday stuff, that comes out of student council's budget, which has been primarily the last year funded because we are doing dances at the high school. They're primarily funded through the Kona Ice donations. Kona Ice, the truck, they donate 20% of all sales back to the school, which is enough to hand out crowns at homecoming and sashes. It's enough to buy beach balls for a beach theme day. But what else? I don't even know. I don't know. We had a photo booth. It bought photo booth stuff. So yeah. The arts and crafts that you saw, that was out of that money.
Oh, cookies.
Oh, we got cookies. They were the bad cookies and the good cookies. First time we did it, they were bad cookies. The second time, I may have oversold that the cookies were going to be good. They were in the hour period. They were gone in about 8 minutes. We had 2 boxes left over the first time.
Well, thank you. I think it's really exciting, and I think it's great to see it student-led and funded by some very kind donors. So appreciate it. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. Appreciate it. All right, moving on. We have number 5 is discussion, and we have none there. Number 6 is approval of the public session minutes from February 16, 2023. I think the board has had an opportunity to review those. Is there a motion to approve those minutes?
I so moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Amy,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Stephanie. Yes. And
Yes.
Number 7 is action needed items. We have a recommendation to approve an anonymous donation of $1,000 towards unpaid lunch balances. So thank you to whoever that is. Is there a motion to approve that?
I so moved.
Any discussion?
Is that to the whole school corporation or to one particular building?
And for the district.
Or district? Thank you.
It didn't specify.
All right.
much appreciated.
All right. Is there any other discussion? Let's do roll call.
Amy,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky? Yes.
Stephanie,
Yes.
Yes.
And on a theme, we have another recommendation to approve an anonymous donation of $1,000 for unpaid lunch balances. Is there a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Any discussion?
Just, again, incredibly grateful for those donations to come through, so it's greatly appreciated.
And I think I want to thank the Democrat because I think that's been one of the sources. I've had more people ask me about unpaid lunch balances in the past month than almost any other topic. So I appreciate that are talking about it and being in the paper brings some community awareness. So I appreciate that. Any other discussion? Roll call.
Amy,
Yes.
Carol. Yep. Vicky.
Yes.
Stephanie.
Yes.
And
Yes.
And number 3 is recommendation to approve the following staff members to approve the World of Work Conference in San Diego on March 22nd to 25th, 2023. And we have Emily Tracy, Christy Reitzman, Debbie Harmon, Gavin Steele, Wendy Gore, Tim Hebert, Kelly Bruner, Teresa Fultz, Brenda Ely, Shane Killinger, Allison Haynes, Erica East, Greg Bernard, Annette Fields, and Michelle Wagers. Conference is being paid for through a 3E grant supporting work-based learning. Is there a motion to approve that trip?
I so moved.
I'll second.
Is there any discussion?
I don't know who's gonna be running the place, but.
I thought that too.
We got it under control. I want to thank the board for, again, allowing us this opportunity As you know, that 3E grant through the Indiana Department of Education is a huge amount of money that we have been able to support our pre-K to adult career connected learning continuum. We've got a pretty big investment through that grant through the World of Work, which was the presentation that Kelly Bruner at Her Kids had a couple meetings ago. And this opportunity is to go visit those schools that are on the foundation of that work and attend that. So it's difficult if you don't ever get outside the county to see really innovative, incredible things going on in the world of public education. And this right here is one of them. And I just can't thank you enough for supporting our team to get out there and learn. Any other discussion? All right, let's do roll call. Amy? Yes. Carol?
Yes.
Vicky? Yes. Stephanie?
Yes.
And Doug?
Yes.
All right, number 4 is recommendation to hire Lisa Olds as a speech language pathologist. She'll be contracted beginning March 1st through July 1st of this year for a maximum of 175 hours at a rate of $60 an hour. And she will be providing speech language pathology services under the direction of the Brown County Schools Director of Student Support Services. Is there a motion to approve?
I said, no.
I'll second. Any discussion?
How many students are going to be served?
I mean, in that amount of time, I'm trying to.
I know all of it, but I mean, how?
Yeah, I mean, the caseload that she has is about 60 kids. And then we have another 40 at Spernica that right now we're short 2 SLPs. So these 2 ladies are going to be here for the rest of the year to try to have conferences and touch base with kids so that goals are updated and we're trying to make up some lost time. We had a vacancy since October. It's just huge shortage. It's just really hard to find anybody. So yeah, a lot of kids.
Because I recognize 1 out of 2 names, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa used to work for us.
Yeah, Lacey used to work for us. She's currently working in 2 other school corporations, and she's going to be leaving one to come work for us this little bit. And I might be.
All right. Debbie's gonna work some magic. All right.
We'll try.
Any other discussion, questions? Amy? Yes. Carol?
Absolutely.
Vicky? Yes. Stephanie?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
And number 5 is recommendation to hire Becky Maroney, speech language pathologist, again contracted March 1st through July 1st of 2023 for a maximum of 175 hours at the rate of $60 per hour. And she will also be providing those speech language pathology services to help us fill that vacancy. Any or a motion, I suppose.
I saw.
Second.
I do.
And any other discussion?
Just want to thank Debbie for all of the hard work it has gone into trying to find qualified individuals to be able to come and provide these services. It's been an incredibly challenging journey, so kudos to you for making it happen.
This is actually a much less expensive route for us too. It's usually about $90 an hour to pay a contract agency. So this is better financially too. I just met with both ladies. We've got lists printed out. We've got schedules going. So they'll do a good job for us. And Lisa brought Becky along. So they sort of take Becky's for Columbus. So good ladies.
Terrific. Any other discussion or questions? All right, roll call.
Amy?
Yes.
Carol?
Yep.
Vicky? Yes. Stephanie?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, we have a consent agenda for personnel. We have separations, appointments, and transfers. Starting with Jim McFall as 5th grade boys basketball coach through Cassandra Pontius as the middle school head boys track coach. Is there a motion?
I saw move.
Second. Any discussion? I thank these people for stepping up for track and
I know it's hard, and I know it can be hard to find part-time coaches, so I appreciate their time as it's pretty important. Roll call.
Amy,
Yes.
Carol,
Yes.
Vicky,
Yes.
Stephanie.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, superintendent's report.
Yeah, I just have a couple things this evening. One, again, I want to thank Mark, Alicia, Carly, and Emily for all the work that they have done with the high school student council in the way of the Eagle. Chase, Hadley, London, and Ava did an awesome job as they always do. And this is a direct effort in the goals that we're trying to move forward, increasing engagement across the board. And I think it's pretty easy to see tonight the power that our kids hold when we just give the opportunity to listen to them, to take the risk and let them lead. So I'm just incredibly proud of that. February 16th, we took a team, Dean Kiefhofer, Chris Townsend, Trent Austin, and high school senior Joseph Dennison to San Antonio to present on the National Conference of Education. And presented our student-based enterprise of Eagle Manufacturing. I was a little worried. Our session was a 8 a.m. on a Friday morning, and I was a little worried we wouldn't get many people to show up at our session, and then whoever did show up were just my Indiana superintendent friends, but we had over 40 people in the room. I can count on one hand how many were from Indiana actually, so they knocked it out of the park. Joey, our student, stole the show as he should. I could not be more proud of that team. I heard that student talk about his transformation, how from coming in as a freshman to now him getting ready to graduate. And the comment that he made to a room full of superintendents was, I finally got to get to a program in a class where it wasn't figuring out how to get the next day. It was to do something really cool. And I will forever hold in my heart that these kids will always remember those A's. They are going to remember those experiences and those opportunities they get the Monday morning after graduation. So again, thank you for supporting, allowing our team to go out there. We put Brown County schools on the national stage. We have people from New York, New Hampshire, Arkansas, Ohio, and Kentucky now reaching out to come visit Brown County High School. So it was a really cool thing. I wanted to give an update. I met with Al Baker Tilley, which are financial advisors, Jane Herndon and Ice Miller, who's our bond counsel, and the team of architects at Performance Services to begin the process of completing facility studies across the district. I believe in 2018, we had a physical facility study done on all of our buildings, which would include anything mechanical, like HVAC and those types of things. And we're able to get a lot of those things done. It's now time to take a second look at that and see what else across the district will become a priority down the road. At the same time, I don't believe that we've ever done an educational facility study, which means looking at our classrooms and really how do we want to design our classrooms moving forward and look at how we could do school differently. So at the same time, we'll get to look at our physical facilities, but also how we do school and how we provide that education environment for our kids. So it is exciting. The architects will be here to meet with our district leadership team next week, and then they schedule individual meetings with each of the building principals and the directors so they can get some honest feedback and what they would like to see in the future. So excited to be able to start that process. And then lastly, we have spring break the week after next. Our next board meeting will be March 23rd. That is not a regular third Thursday of the month. So I want to make note that the next regular board meeting is March 23rd. And with that, I just want to thank everybody for being here.
All right. Next we got into our agenda, we're calling board updates, and during the legislative session, I'm the legislative liaison for the board, and so I wanted to be able to do a legislative update, and then I'll go to the board members and see if they have anything else they want to add. We are, so I did go up to the State House, I guess it was last Tuesday, the 21st. And Indiana State School Board Association has a day in which they invite everyone up. We get to hear from the education leaders. That's probably my favorite part, is the head of each of the House and the Senate education committees come and speak to us and say, here are their legislative initiatives, and we have an opportunity to ask questions. And then we also have an opportunity to speak to legislators while we're there. So oftentimes some people will say to me, why do you do this way? And we do a lot of local control of schools in Indiana. We also are highly regulated by the Indiana Department of Education and the things that the legislature passes. So education is a huge part of the Indiana budget. And so there's just a lot of bills. I think they said there's an increase about 50% in the number of bills that affect education that were introduced this year. So it's a lot going on in a very fast period of time. We're in a lull this week, if you're paying attention to what's happening up there. All of the bills that needed to go out of the House or Senate had to go through by Monday or Tuesday. They take a couple of days off, and then starting next week, any bill that passed the House will go to the Senate, any bill that passed the Senate will go to the House. We do another 2 months of committee hearings, readings, and then any bill that passes both houses will either go to the governor for signature, or we'll have to have a conference committee at which they can put anything in there they want. So it's all the way up. We say, oh, that bill is dead, but there are actually no bills that are actually dead. So it does really require a large degree of monitoring. This is something I really like to do. I really like to follow what's going on. And I probably get 3 or 4 different newsletters from different organizations on bills to follow. So it also means my head is swimming with stuff. So I just wanted to comment on a couple of things that, again, the School Board Association is following. ISTA is usually following bills as well. They're usually the same bills. And, those are things that, you might say, oh, that's happening in Indianapolis. But I really want to emphasize it affects absolutely everything we do. Number one, it affects our funding. So when we talk about how much money do we have, it's absolutely determined by what the state budget is. So that's always House Bill 1001. That is the Senate bill, or the House bill. It has now passed over to the Senate. And I'm not even really going to use bill numbers because they all change at the halfway point. So it used to be a Senate bill. Now it goes to the House, has a different number. So I don't know what the numbers are right now. But number one, budget is big. There is an increase proposed for education, but we don't really know what that would mean for Brown County schools because there is a lot of money that is proposed. I think it's like 50 or 70% increase to charter schools. That means there's just less money for public schools. So if you're interested in those things, I encourage you to do your own reading. I'm not here to be partisan one way or the other. But what they do with that budget very much affects what happens to us and what happens here at the local level. One of the big bills that we were following was partisan school board elections. That's something that we're interested in. And it appears that that is one bill that is dead. There were 3 or 4 bills, and none of them passed through the House or the Senate. So it appears that everything is going to remain status quo at the moment. So that is, that's about the only thing that was sort of we know at this point. The other thing is that there are fewer bills to follow at this point because a whole bunch of bills die if they don't go to committee and they don't get heard on 3 readings in each of the houses, they go away. So the other nice part about the second half of the session is that there are fewer bills to follow and there'll be more intense discussion about those fewer issues rather than lots of discussion on how. So that's something to pay attention to. There are a number of bills that do affect us. Again, the funding is always the biggest piece of that. And I would encourage you to go ahead and take a look. As I said, we're kind of in between, so we don't really need to say that much as far as what those are, but if you ever have questions or, are interested in those things, let me know and we can make sure that you get on those listservs that really kind of every Friday comes out a listserv that says, here's what happened in the legislature this week. And if you're interested in education issues, I encourage you to do that. So that's all I'm saying. Anyone else have comments about that or anything else they want to add?
I have something.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just, it's a little time constraint. I emailed Miss Tracy this afternoon, so she probably didn't have a chance. I'm just introducing another field trip opportunity for Brown County School, and actually have to get approval from Miss Tracy, but like, we took the middle school and high school kids to IU last year for Korean night, and that was pretty successful. So probably Miss Tracy will be asking you to get to approve of transportation, and the IU East Asian Studies will sponsor the school bus again this year. So it's gonna be a fun trip. Thank you. Yeah, and after she's approved, I'm gonna share with the rest of them.
Thank you, Clara. I do approve. It doesn't have to go through, it does not have to go through the board, so,
Okay.
but it's
I also,
nice
just
information for you.
feel free, it is open to everyone, so any of you can come join.
Well, Claire and I took a group of kids a few years ago and we had a fabulous time. I really encourage everyone to go to Korean night. It was, think about it, it was probably a few days before the pandemic and it was pretty awesome. So, anybody else on the board have anything?
Do we have the dates for the play?
I have it on my calendar. I think it's at the second weekend of April. I know that I know it down. It is. It is the weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday of March 13, 14, 15, and 16. I'm sorry, I mean April.
April, okay.
April 13th to the 16th.
Okay.
Yeah, and that is Shrek. So we're excited about that. I know there's lots of hard work going on. Anything else? We did notice when we were in the parking lot, the academic competition is going on right now. And that's one of the events I think we often just kind of comes and goes, but we have, I don't know, there's usually like 10 to 15 schools that come and bring an academic team to Brown County for the academic competition. So anything else? All right, well, thank you all very much. Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. Second.